James O'Keefe with ProjectVeritas.com. James, good to talk with you. So tell everybody, what is the latest in your case?
Dana, today I got a call from the store in upstate New York where I attempted to purchase the single-barrel shotgun. They called me and they said that the FBI has removed my name from the NICS. 1 week after suing the Federal Bureau of Investigation, I am now magically cleared to purchase a gun. Learned that today.
Magically clear. So let me establish this, because when you were first denied, you were told you were denied because it looked as though you were convicted of a felony, correct?
That is correct. We inquired. We went through. Our attorney reached out to someone with NICS, and they have to give you a reason. And the reason was that I was on the felons list, whether it be erroneous or I was intentionally put on this list. They had me listed on the NICS system. I was flagged as ineligible to purchase firearms because I was listed in the background check database as a felon. I've never been convicted of a felony. I've never committed a felony. And the FBI removal from the NICS is effectively an admission that I shouldn't have been on there to begin with, Dana. And apparently I have been on that list for almost a decade. And we've won now. This is the 8th lawsuit, Dana, in a row that Project Veritas has effectively won. This is the quickest adjudication of a lawsuit I've ever been involved with. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to try to now find out why I was put on this list, who put me on this list. There's just a lot of questions that left unanswered here about what was going on.
And it still sounds, even the way they're trying to resolve this, honestly, it still sounds shady to me. And we talked earlier, we're talking with James O'Keefe of ProjectVeritas.com, who has a development after he was fraudulently listed as a prohibited possessor, as somebody whose conviction rendered him so. There are so many instances in background checks of false positives where someone's name might be similar to that of another person's name, and that individual is a felon or is someone who willfully committed a crime and as a result was adjudicated unfit to carry, et cetera, et cetera. And there's oftentimes confusion, which results in a false positive. And it seems to me that the way that the FBI just decided to kind of surreptitiously drop your name from the prohibited list, that they're approaching it as though it was just a false positive. Oh, our bad, oops, just a little mistake. When actually that's entirely different from incorrectly listing someone as a convicted felon. Your thoughts?
Yes, that's exactly right. You are correct. I was actually, who called me? It was Dick Heller that called me like an hour ago. I've never spoken to him before, and what he shared with me after he heard this news was that, they're trying to make it look like, oh, no big deal, we'll just take you off. That's the way they want to deal with it. And as I remind your audience, this is I've been targeted by my own government. Mm-hmm. The Department of Homeland Security would detain me at the borders. Now this. But I think what Dick also shared with me, which I'll share with your audience, is he said, They know your reputation, James. They know that you don't settle lawsuits. They know that you'll take this all the way to the Supreme Court. And because your track record is keep winning all these lawsuits, I think these people feared some type of cross-examination many months or years from now where they're put in the hot seat and they're asked about this. So I think the moral of this extraordinary story here, suing the FBI and having a resolution in 1 week, is that the only way to deal with these people is to never compromise and always run towards the fire and always fight.
Play hardball.
I'm happy, and I got a call from the gun store. They're like, your gun is available for pickup. Dana, it's been 7 years, and they just called me within a week.
Wow. And to note to everyone, the FBI didn't contact James on this. They never reached out to him and said, oh, this is our mistake. Oh, we're sorry, Mr. O'Keefe. There was nothing. Like if you had not been active and you hadn't done anything to trigger purchase a firearm or whatever, A, you never would have been told this, and B, there would have been no legal recourse for you unless you undertook the expense and all of that yourself, correct?
That is right. I mean, yes, the FBI did not call me, but Tom Fitton at Judicial Watch has informed me that they filed a FOIA request against the FBI as well, and they are trying to determine more information. Now, many of these things are often, as you know, redacted to the point where they're rendered
It's useless almost.
not very helpful. But they did file a FOIA request, and the FBI confirmed receipt of that. So it's a combination of Tom Fitton and Bill Marshall, the Judicial Watch, filing FOIAs. Why the hell did you put O'Keefe's name on some NICS felons list? He's not a felon. Then it was the lawsuit, and I'm going to pursue damages. I am going to continue to fight for my rights. This is not the first time I've been through this rodeo show. I am going to try to get some more answers to this question, and I'm a firm believer that again, you can't negotiate. You can't negotiate with these people. You can't compromise. You have to be willing to fight, and that's why Dana. That's why we win. That's why we won this. That's why we won all the other lawsuits. Because I'll take it all the way to a jury trial. I'll take it all the way to an appellate court.
I love it.
If I need to.
I love it. God love it. It is, and see, this is why we love you, James, because you're a fighter, and this actually is going to help so many people. It is going to benefit so many people because not everyone has the ability to go and bring attention to these issues. And we know that, sure, there are sometimes mistakes, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of maliciousness perpetrated upon private citizens by unelected members of government. I mean, not just your case, but so many others. Here's something that's related to this, and this is my last question for you. And we're talking with James O'Keefe of Project Veritas. The FBI magically removed his name now after he brought a lawsuit against them for disenfranchising him from his Second Amendment rights, and they removed his name after they wrongly listed him as a convicted felon. His lawsuit is still rightfully continuing. But in addition to Second Amendment rights, James, couldn't something like this affect someone's ability to vote, their right to vote?
Yes. And again, this goes back to your point a few minutes ago, which is it just erroneous, an error, or is it intentional? And
I think
the good news is, Dana, people are starting to wake up. Many years, when I got started 10 years ago, people would think that I was a conspiracy theorist, but not for the fact that I have these people on video. And I think that people are waking up, and now everyone suspects the administrative state, that these things happen intentionally. It's not just erroneous. But I have to say, Dana, I've had some ups and downs in my life, and this is I just feel like sometimes there's a little bit of justice in the world. And to take on the Federal Bureau of Investigation in 1 week, you get basically vindicated after a decade of your life. It really feels good. I know there's thousands of you out there who are wrongly prosecuted, and I feel your pain, and I hope that this, in some small way, affects the system and makes them think twice before they do stuff to other people.
I'm so glad that you're keeping your foot on the gas pedal and that you're playing hardball, as everyone should, particularly when it comes to their rights. And I'm also grateful that you are one of the few people out there still carrying the banner for reporting on behalf of the citizens as opposed to for the state as propaganda. And that's why you're so targeted, because you are a threat to the lies, you're a threat to the propaganda, you're a threat to the influence that they used to have over the hearts and minds of people. James O'Keefe with ProjectVeritas.com. We're keep us informed, obviously, James, of all of this. We're going to be watching it, and congratulations, another well-deserved victory.
Yes, and any whistleblower who has information, Veritas Tips, that's VERITAS Tips at protonmail.com. Thank you.
Awesome. Wonderful. James O'Keefe, everyone. Thank you, James. God bless.